In this podcast episode, Dr. Ellen Langer, a renowned Harvard psychologist, shares her insights on decision-making, mindfulness, and the nature of human behavior. Through her unique perspective, she challenges conventional wisdom and encourages listeners to embrace uncertainty and actively engage with their experiences. Dr. Langer begins by addressing the common belief that decisions can be categorized as good or bad, emphasizing that the outcome is often the only measure of success. She argues that this binary thinking is misleading as it overlooks the complexity of human experience. Instead of fixating on making the right decision, she suggests that individuals should focus on making the decision right. This shift in perspective allows for a more fluid understanding of choices, where the emphasis is placed on the process rather than the outcome. The idea of making decisions right involves taking action and being present in the moment. Once a decision is made, the alternatives become irrelevant, and the experience of the outcome is shaped by our thoughts and perceptions. Dr. Langer illustrates this point with a personal story about losing her home to a fire. Instead of dwelling on the loss, she chose to focus on the kindness of others and the positive experiences that emerged from the situation. This approach highlights the importance of perspective in shaping our experiences and the outcomes of our decisions. A significant theme in the conversation is the discomfort many people feel with uncertainty. Dr. Langer argues that uncertainty is not the exception but the rule in life. She encourages listeners to embrace this uncertainty as it opens up possibilities and allows for growth. By recognizing that everything is mutable and subject to change, individuals can free themselves from the constraints of rigid thinking and the fear of making wrong decisions. Dr. Langer emphasizes that our thoughts about events, rather than the events themselves, determine our stress levels and overall well-being. By reframing our understanding of uncertainty, we can cultivate a mindset that is more adaptable and resilient. This shift allows us to approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and engaged life. Mindfulness, as defined by Dr. Langer, is the practice of actively noticing things in our environment and being present in the moment. She distinguishes mindfulness from meditation, asserting that mindfulness can be practiced in everyday life without the need for formal meditation sessions. By actively engaging with our surroundings and noticing new details, we can enhance our experiences and foster a greater sense of connection to the world. Dr. Langer explains that mindfulness is not just about being aware of our thoughts and feelings. It also involves recognizing the fluidity of our experiences. By understanding that our perceptions can change, we can approach situations with a more open and flexible mindset. This practice of mindfulness can lead to increased creativity, improved decision-making, and a deeper appreciation for the richness of life. Throughout the podcast, Dr. Langer emphasizes the importance of perspective in shaping our experiences. She argues that events themselves are neutral, and it is our interpretation of those events that gives them meaning. By actively choosing how we perceive situations, we can transform our experiences from negative to positive. This perspective shift is particularly relevant in the context of relationships, where misunderstandings can arise from differing viewpoints. Dr. Langer encourages listeners to question their assumptions and consider alternative perspectives. By doing so, we can foster empathy and understanding in our interactions with others. This approach not only enhances our relationships, but also allows us to navigate conflicts with greater ease and compassion. Ultimately, embracing multiple perspectives can lead to richer, more meaningful connections with those around us. Attention is a central theme in Dr. Langer's work, as she believes it is the key to unlocking our potential. She argues that attention is a finite resource, and how we direct it can significantly impact our experiences. By consciously choosing where to focus our attention, we can enhance our engagement with the world and cultivate a greater sense of fulfillment. Dr. Langer highlights the importance of being mindful of our attention in various contexts, including work, relationships, and personal growth. When we pay attention to the present moment and actively engage with our surroundings, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences. This practice not only enriches our lives, but also empowers us to make more informed decisions and navigate challenges with confidence. A recurring theme in the conversation is the illusion of control that many people cling to in their lives. Dr. Langer argues that the desire for control often leads to mindlessness, as individuals become fixated on rigid outcomes and expectations. This mindset can create unnecessary stress and anxiety as we attempt to predict and control every aspect of our lives. Instead of seeking control, Dr. Langer encourages listeners to embrace the inherent uncertainty of life. By recognizing that we cannot predict every outcome, we can cultivate a more flexible and adaptive mindset. This shift allows us to respond to challenges with greater resilience and creativity, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Dr. Langer discusses the significance of relationships in our lives and how our perceptions of others can shape our experiences. She emphasizes that relationships are dynamic and ever-changing, and it is essential to remain open to the growth and evolution of both ourselves and our partners. By actively engaging with our relationships and being mindful of our interactions, we can foster deeper connections and understanding. In the context of romantic relationships, Dr. Langer highlights the importance of recognizing that our partners are not static beings. As we grow and change, so do our relationships. By embracing this fluidity and being open to new experiences, we can cultivate a more vibrant and fulfilling partnership. This perspective encourages us to appreciate the uniqueness of our relationships and the potential for growth within them. The conversation touches on the role of suffering in personal growth and transformation. Dr. Langer acknowledges that while suffering can be a catalyst for change, it is not a prerequisite for growth. She argues that individuals can experience meaningful change without the need for pain or hardship. Instead, by actively engaging with our experiences and being mindful of our thoughts, we can foster growth and transformation in a more positive and constructive manner. Dr. Langer encourages listeners to view suffering as an opportunity for reflection and understanding rather than a necessary component of growth. By reframing our relationship with suffering, we can cultivate resilience and adaptability, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. This perspective empowers individuals to take charge of their growth and embrace the possibilities that arise from their experiences. The discussion also delves into the impact of social media on our perceptions and relationships. Dr. Langer highlights the tendency for individuals to compare themselves to others based on curated online personas, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and disconnection. She emphasizes the importance of recognizing that social media often presents a distorted view of reality, where individuals showcase only their successes and highlight the best aspects of their lives. Dr. Langer encourages listeners to be mindful of their social media consumption and to question the narratives they encounter online. By recognizing the curated nature of social media, individuals can cultivate a healthier relationship with these platforms and reduce the negative impact of comparison. This awareness allows for a more balanced perspective on one's own life and experiences, fostering a greater sense of self-acceptance and well-being. Another key theme in the podcast is the fluidity of identity and the importance of recognizing that we are not defined by our past experiences or choices. Dr. Langer argues that our identities are constantly evolving, shaped by our experiences and interactions with others. By embracing this fluidity, individuals can cultivate a more expansive understanding of themselves and their potential. Dr. Langer encourages listeners to let go of rigid definitions of identity and to remain open to change and growth. This perspective allows for greater self-acceptance and the freedom to explore new possibilities. By recognizing that our identities are not fixed, we can approach life with curiosity and a willingness to adapt, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and authentic existence. In conclusion, Dr. Langer emphasizes that happiness is not a destination, but a process that unfolds through our experiences and interactions. By actively engaging with our lives and being mindful of our thoughts and perceptions, we can cultivate a greater sense of fulfillment and joy. She encourages listeners to embrace the present moment and to find meaning in their everyday experiences, rather than waiting for external validation or approval.